A poor peasant set out early morning to work, taking with him for his breakfast a crust of bread. Took his coat, wrapped the bread in his coat, put it under the bush, and set to work. The imp was standing and watching what's going on. Something evil cooking in his mind, wondering how to make the peasant commit a sin. He saw the crust of bread in bushes and stole it, thinking he will curse someone and make a sin. After a while, when the peasant was tired and hungry, he went to get his coat and his breakfast. He went and lifted the coat, but the bread was gone. He looked and looked, turned the coat over and over, shook it out, but the bread was gone. It was an imp who had stolen the bread while the peasant was working in his farm, and at the moment he was sitting behind the bush waiting to hear the peasant swear and call on the devil. The peasant was sorry to lose his breakfast, but it can't be helped, said he. After all, I shan't die of hunger. No doubt whoever took the bread needed it. May it do him good. The imp was crestfallen and he went to report what had happened to the devil, his master. He came to devil and told how he had taken the peasant's bread and how the peasant, instead of cursing him, he said, may it do him good. The devil was angry and replied, if the man got the better of you, it was your own fault. You don't understand your business. If the peasants and their wives after them take to that sort of thing, it will be all up with us. The matter can't be left like that. Go back at once, said he. And put things right. If in 3 years you don't get the better of the peasant, I'll have to tuck in the holy water. He scampered back to earth, turned into a laboring man, and went and took service with the poor peasant. The first year, he advised the peasant to sow corn in a marshy place. The peasant took his advice and sowed in the marsh. The year turned out very dry one, and the crops of the other peasants were all scorched by the sun. But the poor peasant's corn grew thick and tall. The next year, the imp advised the peasant to sow on a hill, and it turned out a wet summer. Other people's corn was beaten down and rotted, and the ears did not fill. But the peasant's crop up on the hill was a fine one. He had more grain left over than before, so that he did not know what to do with it all. Then the imp showed the peasant how he could mash the grain and distill spirit from it. The peasant had invited his well-to-do neighbors and was treating them to drink. His wife was offering the drink to the guests, and she handed it round. She tumbled against the table and spilled a glassful. The peasant was angry, being rude. He said, "What do you mean, you slut? Do you think it's ditch water?" After that, rich peasants took a glass and drank their first sip. They began to make false, oily speeches to one another and praise themselves. Just then, a poor peasant returning from the work came uninvited. He sat down and saw that they were drinking. His mouth kept watering. By another round of glass, everyone presented them as savage wolves. Their talk became wilder and rougher. Soon they took to fighting and punched one another's noses. Host also joined the fight. The devil praised the imp for his work and said, "This is first rate." The peasants had their third glass and became quite like brutes. The hangover was filled around their head. No one was conscious. Peasant's wife came and asked about the uninvited poor peasant. The rich peasant replied that, "I can't find drink for everyone who comes along." The devil was so pleased with the work of Imp. The party began to break up. Some went in threes and some in twos. Some went alone. The host went out to speed his guests, but he fell on his nose on the ground. This pleased the devil more. He said, "You must first have put in fox blood that was made peasants slay as foxes. Then I suppose you added wolf's blood, that is what made them fierce like wolves. And you must have finished off with swine's blood to make them behave like a swine." Imp replied, "No. All I did was to see that the peasant had more corn than he needed. The blood of the beast is always in the man. While that was the case, the peasant did not grudge his last crust. But when he had corn left over, he looked for ways of getting pleasure out of it. And I showed him a pleasure drinking. And when he began to turn God's good gifts into spirits for his own pleasure, the fox, wolf, and swine's blood in him all came out. If only he goes on drinking, he will always be a beast. The devil praised the imp, forgave him for his former blunder, and advanced him to a post of higher honor.
Oh my god. Sorry friends.